Greetings from TV AIBD. Hi, this is Philomena and you're with me on Connect with AIBD. And today I'm talking to a person who wears many hats. He is Mr. Ajay Mishra, all the way from New Delhi, India. Well, I said many hats because he's an engineer by profession. He also writes poetry. And most recently, he has written a book. And this is a wonderful book that we're going to talk about. Welcome to the program, Mr. Ajay. How are you today?
Thank you, Philo, for a wonderful introduction. I really feel excited to be on this program of yours.
And it's really an honor to have you. You are one of the 5G experts, and you're also a person who has done a lot for the development of information technology. Not just in India, but globally as well. And I would like to talk about your book. How did an engineer actually become an author? And this is an author of a fiction, not just a book on IT.
That's a very, very interesting question. I have actually authored just books in my life, which is technology, on mobile networks. And, like every black cloud has a silver lining. So, the COVID part, actually, it was by chance. I got stuck in Paris during COVID, and I was not able to come. So my friends and colleagues, both within Ericsson and in India, they advised me to start writing something, write a blog, do some Facebook, go on Twitter, but honestly, it was not helping. And I was literally stuck in my apart hotel in France, not really able to move out. And the biggest fear in my mind was that, if I get Corona, if I get COVID positive, then, by the time I'm able to translate things to the French authorities, the game would be over. So that fear was there, and these guys really lifted my mood up, and then I started to write. And the whole world was grappling with this new ways of living in the society. So I started to write, and the best topic that could come to my mind actually was this novel, Father of God, and look at the whole ecosystem's impact on me, that I was able to write this book within 30 days. So, the whole novel. And of course, Bloomsbury were to thank that they accepted the manuscript and then went on to publish it. So that's how it.
That's so amazing, finishing a book within 30 days. And our lockdown is forever, Ajay. We haven't finished the lockdown. And so France provided you the right atmosphere to write a book. And you were in lockdown in Paris. And what a beautiful city. And you were not out there enjoying it.
Well, Paris is the city of lights, and everybody desires to go at the Eiffel Tower. And, look at the destiny that from my window, I could see Eiffel Tower. And daily I used to wait till the evening to be able to see, they used to light the Eiffel Tower in the night. It was lit and looked very beautiful. So I was able to, that's the only thing I was doing, like looking at Eiffel Tower day in and day out. Of course, it was more beautiful in the night, but that was my best companion in this COVID times. And that's how I survived. So you are right. Paris is a beautiful city, extremely beautiful, but, destiny has its own ways. And I was stuck and couldn't do anything except watch the Eiffel Tower day in and day out and write a book, of course.
I think that is so exciting because I remember being in Paris and just sitting down and the lighted Eiffel Tower, at night and just looking at it. And even when I started walking back to the hotel, I would keep turning back. It has a awe-inspiring thing about it. And I guess that's why it's one of the wonders of the world. And for you to be looking at it and then coming up with a story like Father of God, oh my God, that must be really inspirational. Tell me about this book, Ajay. What is Father of God about?
So actually, the base of the storyline, it's a fiction, of course, mm-hmm. is the way India is the way India exists, actually. So India has always been a land of seekers. and not believers. And if you see the scriptures that are there and have been there for millions of years now, they all talk about the highest level of spirituality where a person can reach is becoming God himself. And there have been many instances within the scriptures. So the topic actually came from one of the religious texts that I was reading, and there was a question in that that one saint asks another that who is actually, we all have parents, mother and father and so on, but who is the father of God? So the saint replies that saints are the father of God because they bring the concept of God, and that's how the book's title evolved. But the story fundamentally goes around, that if you see the political world or the politics in the world, the basis of that, a very strong basis is religion itself. And whether it's Europe or US or the India, Asia, elsewhere, either they believe or they don't believe, or there's communism, but the fundamental fight is amongst the religions. And so I kind of, this is, like I said, it's a fiction that, the story evolves around a saint in India who is actually, there are a series of allegations against saints in India, and they are put in jail to defame the Hinduism religion. And the fundamental behind that is not to bring out the best from the religions of the people that were trying to defame the saint, but to each one has had its own goal to either become the head of a certain religion, or to earn money, or to get into power, or become the prime minister. So it's a very interesting turn of events that happen there, and whereby the saint in the end is put in jail, but that is what he was desiring, to be in seclusion, where he could meditate and change the whole ecosystem. And the party which was trying to defame and get votes based on religious and fundamentalism and so on is thrown out of power, and a new person emerges and so on. So it's totally around the fight of the intermingling of politics, religion, and other vices of the society that really doesn't help the society in the longer run. So it's it just evolved like that.
It's such an exciting plot. It's such an exciting a story, actually, taking into account, talking about politics, about religion, and about the people, and about the good and the bad, the antagonist, the protagonist, these kind of things. So I don't know what you did in the room there in Paris, but the story, has so much cooking inside it, and it's something that people have put it. Many of the reviews that are coming is really showing that you have looked at a book that's really exciting, and a book that's really exploring about India itself, right? And what's happening in India is such a land of gurus, land of, like you said, a land where people come to seek most of the time, right? When people say that, hey, you know what, I want to find myself, they go to India. So I think it's such an exciting setting for such a story, Ajay.
That is so true. And I'm not I'm not like really a serious theologist, but I do read a lot on the internet or in the newspaper about religions and how they evolved and so on. And a very interesting anecdote that comes to my mind is that within the Bible, and I'm no Bible expert, but within the Bible, the age of the Jesus is like Jesus is there till the age of 12 or so, and then he reappears at the age of 30. So it's around 18 years. He's not nowhere in the Bible. But there's a story that says that Jesus came to Kashmir. And if you read on the net, you'll find that some claim there's a grave of Jesus in Kashmir and so on. And, there are scriptures and so on saying that. Whether he came or not, that's not the idea. The idea is that you would not find Jesus going to Rio, or Jesus going to Sydney or Washington or New York. He came to India, to Kashmir, which is the land of yogis. If you see the Himalayas, and they have been inspiring yogis and hermits for a very long time. So India has always been, mystic. And that's why all religions survived, they thrived, and a lot of mistakes from whichever religion they are really appreciated amongst the masses in India. It doesn't matter whether they are from Christianity, like Father Thomas, who was a disciple of Jesus, or whether it was Jalaluddin, Muhammad Jalaluddin, or likes of that. There were a lot of those mystics that came, and preachers and seekers who were there. So this has been, a fascinating land to be in if we are into the path of spirituality. Like if you have to earn dollars, you would like to go to the US. You want to earn money, people want to go to the US. But if you have to go learn peace, like you rightly said, you want to do yoga or seek yourself, then India is the place where people tend to go all the time.
So for people who want to find themselves, or for people who want to discover more, I think your book, Ajay, is something that's providing a real insight into what's happening. In fact, your book is being called as one of the best fiction thrillers or novels in this recent time. And how do you feel about being termed, your novel being termed as the best fiction thriller?
Yeah, it's a fiction thriller. I when I read these comments, I really feel good. There is no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, I think there is, there's something else working, which was not natural, helping me to write the book, because it's almost impossible to write a thriller with hundreds of characters inside in 30 days. So I do not take the credit with myself on that. But I think that, these comments are nice, they're encouraging and so on. So yeah, it feels good.
There you go. So you have a fiction thriller at hand, and that's really exciting, and something that was written within 30 days. Am I right, Ajay?
Yeah, that's correct. I started on the 29th. I wrote the title. 30th of March, I started writing, and 30th of April, I finished the book.
And it's so exciting. You just finished the book within 30 days and you got it published sometime this year. And now the book is on sale. And I see lots and lots of reviews on your book, which is really exciting. Now, tell me, how is this book taken by Indians themselves, the land of the seekers? How do they feel about this book?
Some people did have met me, they met me on the launch and so on. And according to them, the best part they find in the book is the explanation of the term enlightenment within the book, because a lot of people just say that, oh, by the way, I met Mr. X and he's very enlightened. So the enlightened word is kind of used for very, very minor elements, which is not the case. So it's a very it's the highest form of spirituality. And the way it has come out in the book, according to people, is that they understand that word now bit more. So when we say Buddha was enlightened, or Mahavir was enlightened, or Jesus was enlightened, they understand it now better, that what it actually means. It goes beyond your worldly wins and losses. So even an enlightened man can lose a battle, and he can also die and crucified or put in jail and so on. So that has nothing to do with his level of spirituality. That's just the worldly elements that come into play. So that is the best feedback that I've received till now on my face. And I feel good about it. I can just thank God for that.
Yes, and I think your character, that your fictitious character of Mahant, right? It's not an ordinary man. He is the enlightened saint that we are talking about. Such a character that you've created, right? And were you inspired by anybody, Ajay?
So in India, we have, like I said, this is a land of, spirituality and seekers. There have been many people in India who have achieved this highest state of spirituality from times immemorial. That has really inspired me to create a character named Mahant, and then the story revolves around him.
Well, what I like about your book is that the villain is actually a woman.
Yeah.
You have a woman as Monica Reddy and the Dark Forces. She's the one who is actually out there to demolish the spirit of India, and Mahant is to fight her. What an exciting thing, having a woman as in that powerful villainous role.
I would say two things around it. First, in India, the situation is so open, society is open, the culture and the religion and so on, that women also rise to the to higher positions and without any hiccups here. But having said that, now I realize that the negative character is a woman. So I didn't actually put it there for it's a woman. I just created something. And now that you have pointing it out, I realize, well, it's a woman. So for me, it was more like a scenario that I drew from a lot of things and brought it up. But it's a woman. Yeah.
But as a woman, I think it's good because a woman is in that powerful position to challenge a saint, right? And of course, this is a book that's really exciting. I like the way you put it together and the story, evolving of the story itself. And it's so exciting, Ajay. And I'm sure that this book, lots of interest has been shown in this book. Especially, I saw that you yourself, you had an opening ceremony and you sort of highlighted this book to many top people in India.
So the book was released in February, and it was a fascinating release. We have some of the best people coming out there, including the waterman who got the Nobel Prize for Water, Rajendra Singh Ji. He came, and we had some of the top guys from the justice system, retired judges, and some of the best and well-known faces in the social working part of the society who graced the occasion. So it was very kind of them to come over, and because it's just a novel, so still they were able to take time and come. So that was fantastic. And then of course, since I keep on meeting a bit social and networking, and so I whenever I meet some people who are actually interested in reading, and I know they are, so I present a copy of my book.
And I think this is wonderful because, like you said, people's interest in reading. And this is something which actually stories have to be exciting and stories have to be with the times. And this is exactly what you've done, Ajay, writing a story during a lockdown, creating something which is exciting. And India itself is such a country with so many diverse culture and religion, so to speak. So, and I would like to see how this book is going to go, and I'm sure it's going to grow more and perhaps even become a film, Ajay.
Yeah, there have been calls and so on. People are like, I had a meeting as well, and there were a couple of other more people who called up to find if they could create a movie or a web series out of it. So let's see what happens. I do not know, nothing concrete right now, but things are under discussions right now as we speak.
Probably the first scene would start in the Eiffel Tower, if it's going to be a movie. So, you know what? So I am really finding this exciting. And the fact that you finished a book in 30 days and such an exciting book at that. Tell me, do you have plans to do anything more? Maybe a second book, a sequel, Ajay?
Yeah, people are asking me. But honestly, right now I'm working on blockchain technology. So the focus is shifted back to technology. Mm-hmm. But let's see if time permits, why not? But right now it's not on cards. I'm not planning a sequel as of today, but I do not know how tomorrow turns up.
So thank you so much, Ajay. It's been really exciting talking to you because this is something fruitful that you've done over a lockdown period, and not just a book on technology. You're into blockchains, you just mentioned, but also a book that looks at society, power play, politics, and re-looking at what religion is actually, what kind of beliefs and the system that takes place, not just in India, but I'm sure it's applicable everywhere else.
I think what you're saying is correct. I hope this book, this novel actually, first of all, readers find it exciting. So that's the first thing. And second, if they are able to get something positive in their life, I think it will be a job well done.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you're going to inspire a lot of people during this lockdown. Some countries are still under lockdown, but not everyone is looking at any beautiful tower or something like you're doing, but still it's an inspiration to do something fruitful and wonderful, something that you've never done before, like an engineer writing a book on fiction. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you so much for being a part of Connect with AIBD.
Thank you very much, Philo. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.